Hello everyone, this is Madhavi Karamudi, Assistant Professor in CSC Department. In this lecture, I will discuss about PHP. First, we will see the history of PHP. This PHP language is initially created in 1994 by Rasmus Ladroff. Initially, he has created this language for his uh, online resume and for maintaining his own personal information. For this reason, he has given the name for this as a personal homepage. Later, Ladroff combined PHP with his own form interpreter and released in the public as PHP FI in 1995. So after few years, he has combined with two more programmers like Zeev Surakshi and Andy, and he has rebuilt his PHP score and released updated version in 1997. That time they have renamed this personal homepage as PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. So if you can see this name, this PHP is a recursive acronym where the acronym itself is in its own definition. So later, in 1998, they have released PHP 3 with a little bit modifications. After 2 years in 2000, they have released PHP 4 with improved speed and reliability. After few years of PHP 4, they have released one more version, PHP 5, with many new features like support for object-oriented programming and exception handling mechanism, and support for SQLite and MySQL database servers. And they have designed various libraries for filtering the data at client side as well as server side. And with better XML tools, they have released PHP 5 in the year 2004. Later, with little modifications, they have released one more version in 2006 with PHP 6. In 2019, they have released one more version, PHP 7. This is the latest stable release in PHP. So all these are the various versions of the PHP. And one more important thing is, initially this PHP language was written using C language itself. If you can see the syntax of this PHP, this is similar to C language, Java language, and Perl-like language. And this PHP is the widely used programming language nowadays for creating dynamic web pages. So this PHP is a tough competitor for Microsoft's ASP language also. And if you want to learn this PHP language, first of all, we need to have some knowledge on HTML language, CSS and JavaScript. Because these three languages plays an important role for creating websites. So our PHP language intention also to add dynamic nature to the websites. That is the reason why before learning PHP language, the user has to have little understanding of PHP, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now coming to the next slide, why we need to use this PHP language is, actually we have so many languages in the market for creating dynamic web pages. But why we need to prefer this PHP language is, it is open source and it is free downloadable. So for using this PHP language, no need to purchase any special softwares. It is a open source software, and it is a platform independent language. So it can run on any platform like Windows, Linux, and Unix operating systems also. And this language is very much simple to learn because almost all the syntax is similar to C language and Java language only. So this is very much simple to learn, and it runs efficiently on any kind of server. Like in today, there are a lot of web servers available in the market. This PHP is suitable with almost all those web servers like Apache, IIS server, etc. And it supports many databases for interacting with backend like MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL server, etc. And it is perfectly suitable for web development. And most of the PHP code we will write inside the HTML code only. That is the main reason for opting this PHP language. So learning HTML language is very easy. So that is the reason why most of the people nowadays prefers this PHP for creating their dynamic web pages. And next important thing is, once you know why we need to use this PHP language, the next step is what can we need to do for this PHP language. So what this PHP language can do for us. So here, this PHP language can generate dynamic page content. So by using this PHP language, we can add interactivity to the web pages. And this PHP language can able to create, and it can able to open, or it can able to read and write the contents from the files on the server. And by using this PHP language, we can also delete some of the resources on the server. And this PHP mainly used for collecting the data from the forms. Nowadays, if you can see any website, website means it's a collection of web pages. So whenever the user submits his data for requesting for something, for reservation purpose or for doing online shopping, first of all, he has to fill his own requirements in the form of form in the HTML page or in the form. So whenever he submits the button, behind your screen, your PHP can able to collect the data, and according to that user data, it can generate the response. And PHP can also used for sending and receiving cookies from the client. And this PHP can also add, delete, and modify data in the database server. Suppose if the user is requesting for something, suppose if the user wants to create some he wants to register with some site. First of all, he has to fill his own details. Whenever he fills the details, after clicking on the submit button, your PHP will receive that data, and that data will be inserted into the database server. So your PHP can add the data to the database server, and it can delete the data from the database server also. And if the user requires, the PHP can modify the data available in the database server also. Okay, and this PHP can also be used for encrypting the data for security purpose. And next thing is, if you want to work with the PHP, how to set up the environment from the user side. So here, if you want to work with the PHP, first of all, on our machine, we need to install any one of the web server available in the market. It may be Apache Tomcat server, or it may be a Resin server, or it may be IIS server from Microsoft. You have to install one web server. On top of that web server, you have to install PHP software. And after that, you have to install any one of the database server like Oracle or MySQL, etc. So these are the three things we need to install in our machine to work for working with PHP. Now coming to the basic syntax of PHP. So it's a very simple language. This PHP is written inside the HTML page itself. So your browser can easily understand your HTML page, and all the HTML is written in the form of tag type information only. That is the reason why here the PHP code also written inside the tags. So if you are writing PHP code inside the HTML tags, we need to write that entire PHP code inside these two PHP tags. It starts with question mark and PHP. Then here your content comes. Then it ends with question mark and angular bracket. And just like other programming languages like C, C++, and Java, your in PHP also, each and every statement ends with the semicolon. And your PHP can be saved with .php extension. So once you write, and for writing this PHP code, no need to install any special softwares. Normal notepad is enough. So inside the notepad, write the PHP content. Then for running that content, first of all, we need to save that content with the .php extension. And this PHP contains HTML tags as well as your own PHP code. And while writing the PHP code, we need to remember few things here. If you are writing any variables, variable names, if you are using any variable names in your PHP, those variable names are strictly case sensitive. That means if you can use the variable name as all lowercase letters, at the time of using also you have to use in the same manner. Lowercase letters variable name and uppercase letters variable name will different. But if you come into the keyword, so like other programming languages like C language, C++ and Java, here also your PHP language contains some predefined keywords. So you should not use those keywords for declaring your own variables. But if you are but in PHP, there is a flexibility given for the keywords. All those keywords are not case sensitive. So your keywords, class names, function names, and user-defined function names, except keywords, all other are case sensitive. And these are the few keywords like if, else, while. So these keywords you can write in the capital letters also. These are not a case sensitive. Next, coming to next point, here the PHP is a white space sensitive. White space sensitive means at the time of writing PHP code, even if you give multiple spaces also, at the time of execution, your PHP interpreter will truncate all those white spaces into single white space. It will ignore all the remaining white spaces. And if you can see the syntax of PHP, just now I told you. So if you want to write any PHP program, compulsory that PHP code you have to write between these two tags only. Next, see how to write the PHP comments. As we know the use of PHP comments, these PHP comments are used mainly for giving description about your program. So just like a C language, here we can write, we can comment single lines as well as multiple lines also. Here in PHP for single line comments, we have two different representations. These two forward slashes. This representation is taken from C based languages, and in PHP we'll also comment a single line of text by using hash sign. So this hash sign is taken from the Unix shell programming, and if you want to comment multiple lines at once, then we need to use /* and //. So next, coming to the concept called as variables. This is one of the important concept in any programming language, and this is one of the basic building block of any programming language. So as we know, variable means it's an identifier used for creating or for storing some information. So here in PHP, always the variable names starts with the $sign. So this is the new thing that is added to this PHP. If you see in C languages, we'll not use any special symbols while declaring the variables. But in PHP, before the variable name, we'll use $sign. And the value of the variable is the value of its most recent assignment. So here, before declaring the variables in PHP, we are not using or we are not specifying any data type. That is the reason why whatever value recently you are assigning to the variable, that will be considered as variable value and the variable type. In PHP, we have 7 to 8 data types are available. But here, at the time of declaring the variables, no need to declare the variables with specific data types. So internally, depending upon the value that you are assigning to the variable, it will assign the particular data type to the variable. And one more important feature of PHP language is, in case of variables, is automatically converts one data type to another data type whenever it is required. And if you can see the syntax of specifying the variables, this is the way to specify the variable in the PHP. Dollar, name of the variable. Here this is the identifier name. You can use any name for writing the variable. And if you want to assign some value to this variable, you just use assignment operator for assigning the value to this variable. And if you can see the rules for writing PHP variables, almost all these rules are common to all the programming languages. So in C language also we'll follow the same rules, but only the thing is, before the variable name we'll use $sign. Except that all these rules are common for most of the programming languages. So see the rules once again. Every variable name must start with a letter or underscore character, but it should not start with a number. In between, if you want, you can use numbers, but your variable name should not start with the number or any special character except underscore. And the variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore. So only these symbols are valid for writing the variable names. And variable names are strictly case sensitive. Suppose if you declare the variable name as $name, but in the program, if you have used that variable name as $capital letters name, then definitely these two variable names will be considered as two different variables. So in the case of variables, variable names are strictly case sensitive. So these are the main rules we need to follow for creating the variables. Now coming to the constants. So this is another side of variables. If it is a variable, at the time of execution, you can change the value at any point of time. Okay. So, but if you see the constant, it is a fixed. Once you define the value for the constant, it is fixed for its entire life. You cannot change the value at the time of execution. So these constants are also just names or the identifiers. These are also used for creating the storing some information. So in next slide, we'll see the difference between variables and constants. But now we'll see how to declare the constants in PHP language. So here, generally in case of C language, C-based languages, here we can see, in those C-based languages, we'll use const keyword for defining the constants. If you see Java language, we'll use final keyword for defining the constants. In PHP, we have two ways for defining the constants. One way is by using define function, and the other way is just like C-based languages, we can also create the constants using const keyword. Okay, see how to use or how to create constants using define function. So here is the syntax for define function. So whatever constant you want to define, that name of the constant, and whatever value you want to assign for that constant, that value, and this third parameter is optional. So here the third parameter is case insensitive. So by default it is set to false. If you want to make this constant as case sensitive, you have to write the third parameter value as true. So actually this is optional. By default it will take false value. So in the PHP script, this is the way to define the constant. So here if you see, here I am specifying greeting as a constant name of the constant, and for this greeting I am assigning hello world value. So whenever you want to print this greeting, you just print echo constant name. So automatically this statement will result hello world. This statement will print hello world message on the screen. And suppose if you want to create constants using const keyword, just like a C-based languages, This is the way to create it. So here you just use, the T was missing. You have to use const keyword, const message name of the constant and value of the constant. Directly assign value of the constant by using assignment operator. So in these two ways, we can create constants in PHP. Now, if you can see the difference between variables and constants. So definitely the programmers will learn us, if he is a beginner, definitely he will confuse with these variables and constants. There are differences between constants and variables. The first difference is at the time of creating the variable, the first difference is the variable value we can change at any number of times in its execution. But once the constant is created, its value is fixed until the program execution is over. You can't change that value. And if you can see the representation wise, if you can see the difference, at the time of creating the variables, we need to use $sign before that variable name. But in the case of creating constants, no need to use the $sign before the constant name. That is one difference. And constants can be created by using define and const keywords, and it cannot be created by using simple assignment like variables. And if you see the third difference, constants may be defined and accessed anywhere in your program without any scoping rules. If you can see the variables, every variable contains some lifetime and scope. So within that lifetime only, or within that scope only, we can access those variables in the script. But if you coming to the constants, by default, the constants scope is global scope. You can use these constants anywhere in the script without any problem. Okay, that is one more major difference. And once you set some value for the constants, you cannot change that value and you cannot undefine that value from that constants. So these are the major differences between constants and the variables. Now, just now we have seen how to create the user defined constants using define and const keyword. Other than these user defined constants, and PHP itself has some predefined constants, So you can use those constants in our program anywhere in the script. So see those predefined constants. So here if you observe, these are two underscore signs, underscore, underscore, line, underscore, underscore. So this name is fixed. So always all these predefined constant names are in capital letters, and it is preceding with two underscores and ends with two underscore signs. So if you use this predefined constant in your program, this returns the current line number of your file. And if you use underscore underscore file underscore underscore constant in your program, it returns the full path and file name of your file. So if you use underscore underscore function underscore underscore constant, it returns the function name of your script. If you have any functions in your script, so this keyword is used for returning that function name, and this keyword is used for returning class name of the script, and this is for returning method. And we have one more predefined constant for knowing the current version of PHP. So that is PHP underscore version. So by using this keyword, by using this constant, we can know the current version of what version the user is using in his machine. We use this keyword, this constant. And another constant is PHP underscore OS. So this keyword, this constant returns the current OS of your system. So these are the predefined constants. Anywhere in your script, you can use these constants. Okay. Now, coming to the next important basic building block of any programming language is data types. So here, at the time of declaring variables and constants, we are not using any data type before that, before variable name or constant name. Even if you are not using the data type name before variable name and constant also, your PHP contains some data types. So your PHP considers your variable as of that particular type depending upon your value that you are assigning to the variable. So see what kind of data types your PHP language is supporting. So here we have 8 data types in PHP for representing whole numbers without any decimal points. In PHP we have integer data type. Data type. This is just similar to int type in our C-based languages. And for representing floating point numbers, in PHP we have a double data type. And for representing the true or false values, we have Boolean data type. And we have one more data type is null. This null is a special type that contains only one value, that is null. Okay, so if you are not storing anything, by default that will be considered as a null type. And in PHP we have support for representing sequence of characters also using string data type. And all these first 5 types are general data types. And coming to the next 3 data types, these are derived data types in PHP. So here array is also one of the data type in PHP for representing a tabular kind of information. And object data type, this data type is mainly used for representing user defined classes and kind of methods. For calling methods, we'll use this object data type. And we have one more important data type that is resource data type. So when we will use this, when the variable is considered as resource data type is, definitely in your program, if there is a need of interacting with the database servers, we need to store the name of the database server, URL, and username and password of those data, those information in the form of some variables. So that time, those variables will be considered as resource type variables. That means these variables are special variables hold for references to resources like databases and files. So these are the main 8 data types available in PHP. So with this basic concepts, I'm closing the session. In next session, we will see what are the functions, how to write the functions in PHP, how to use control structures in PHP, and how to define the arrays. So like that we'll continue. So overall in this session, hope you people understand the history of PHP and why we need to use this PHP, how to use PHP, where to use PHP, and some of the basic building blocks like variables, constants, and data types. Hope you people understood about these basic concepts. So, okay, thank you one and all. And next session, we'll meet with a few more basic concepts. Thank you. Thank you one and all.